So one thing I hate, guys, I could say is in the beginning phase, unless you're doing like a very general broad campaign, you have to go broad. But you have to get used to going broad and to collect data unless you know the statistics of what's working and what's not working. If you don't know the statistics of what's working and not working, then you got to go broad starting off. But after you kind of grasp the idea, you can kind of narrow down your campaign and kind of like target exactly, what's working, what's not working there. But yeah, I say that to say, a lot of times, going broad on the campaign, you can kind of you collecting data starting off. Where is your location, your age group, or your placements or your demographics, like all of that stuff is just to collect data in the beginning. So especially like when Facebook say, hey, we can do the Advantage Plus campaign. Like, let's say I come over here and I click on create. Well, I don't want to create an ad because it's going to take me to create an ad. So let's go back over here to the campaign level and let's click on create. So how we come over here and we may select, let's say, an engagement campaign, for instance, or my favorite, lead campaigns. Since the majority of what I do is lead campaigns. Let's say a lead campaign for a client. So when we're creating these lead campaigns, I would like to keep it broad in the beginning, so we have a general idea of what's working and what's not working on the campaign. That gives us the ability to kind of split test to see exactly, all right, is it mobile device, is it desktop, and to see exactly what's working. So I do agree with Facebook and on the Advantage Plus in the beginning, or later on after testing, you can kind of turn it off there, especially if you know what's working already. But if you don't know what's working already, what placements, do an Advantage Plus campaign for a few days and split test to see exactly what's working. Like, I don't like go against that. I don't go against the grain on that whatsoever, because that's going to give you a little bit more detailed idea of what's working in your playing field. And then also at the same time, you can turn it off on your next campaign setup or next ad group or things of that nature. But in the beginning, you want to kind of go broad. Whether you're doing this on Facebook, Google, Bing, you want to go broad because of the simple fact that you need to collect data. And especially even if you're doing search, a lot of times, a lot of marketers may put in thousands and thousands of keywords, but then you have to do one thing called track test optimization. Why? You need to track exactly which keywords, which search terms is actually being clicked on, what's the query search, or meaning what's the actual keyword that the person is typing inside the search engine is converting. And on top of that, you can know exactly what verticals or what placements is actually working on search or Facebook to determine exactly, all right, I should turn off this keyword because it's driving me a lot of traffic, or I should keep on this keyword because it's not driving me a lot of traffic. I should keep on this ad because it's bringing me conversions. I should probably turn off this ad because it's not bringing me conversions. And so down, which verticals is actually working in the campaign and which verticals isn't working in the campaign. So in this case scenario, I would keep the Advantage Plus on, just to split test the beginning of a campaign. And if I want to dive down even deeper into location targeting, let's say I'm targeting United States and I want to break that down to Houston, Texas, it gives me a more roundabout idea. A lot of times in my case scenarios, I do not advertise to people, I can say 30 under, or really 35 plus. That's where my demographics is. So now I can come over here to placements and I can click on more settings. I can come over here to, let's say, platforms, and I know Threads. I don't want to advertise on Threads. I don't want to advertise on placements that's not going to do me no justice. So audience network, I can take that off. Messenger, I can take that off. And what is audience network? Threads is an app, so it's like the new version of Twitter. So if you're not on Threads, it's basically like the new version of Twitter or X, so like I see a lot of pretty cool stuff happening on Threads. So same thing. All right, other than that, audience network is basically any site that's connected to Facebook and monetizing their site through Facebook. So that's your audience network. Messenger is obviously the Messenger app, so you can go to messenger.com or whatever, or Facebook Messenger. That's what that's advertising. And Instagram, if you don't know what Instagram is, you've probably been living under a rock. It's, you know, it's another social network. All right. Me personally, the only placement I like to advertise on both of these networks is Instagram and Facebook. I do enjoy Instagram story ads. I'm not a fan of real ads, but let's go into not the platform, but specific placements of where I add a B. I always turn off in-stream ads for reels because I don't, a lot of my creatives isn't, you know, needed for that. Search traffic isn't needed whatsoever, but I also keep on the Instagram feed and the Facebook feed. I love story ads and I love reels. Like, this is just me kind of being biased about this right now, telling you what I enjoy advertising, what gives me results. Is the Facebook feed and the Instagram feed. Facebook feed and Instagram feed gives me, I could say, for more of a direct approach. It allows the consumers to read exactly what's going on and then click on the ad. That's why I like it. So if a person stops scrolling and then they click on the ad, it's more predominant than them just seeing that pop up while they're watching a boatload of reel videos, because they want to swipe left or swipe right. Stories is pretty good too. When you're trying to get people attention right off the back, and it's good for DMs as well. So I'm just be honest with you there. But in many case scenarios, I don't advertise stories because, you know, even though it's far more affordable now, don't get me wrong, stories is very, very affordable to run ads on. So way more affordable than, let's say, you know, the feed by itself, but it's very affordable. Reels is the next jumping thing to advertise on too. All right, so this is what I consider a sniping campaign. When I'm going at the Facebook feed or I'm going at that Instagram feed solely, I'm sniping for a placement. So this is what I consider sniping. Like, I know my objective. I know I'm going broad. I know what kind of ad creative I'm going after, and then I'm going through this. All right, and so now I can kind of like go through and create my ad copy. But for the sake of this video, I want you guys to understand why you should go broad in the beginning of a campaign, and then also be able to collect data and split test that data and narrow it down. So regardless if you're on Facebook or Google, you want to do this so you can collect enough data for your campaign to optimize it. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the future.